Hi, my name is Jeff Weissler, and welcome to Chew on This, episode number 2. So what happens on Chew on This? We talk about ideas, we taste wine, we talk about wine and food pairing, we give you an introduction to a topic, and we have a little Q&A. So all those things happen in just a few minutes. It's amazing. So we're going to talk to you today about Brooks Winery and Riesling, the grape Riesling. And Riesling is one of my favorite grapes. So why? Because it's hard to overmake with a lot of winemaking. It's one of those grapes that the place really creates an opportunity to bring a real purity forward in that particular varietal and in the expression of the wine. With Brooks and this particular wine, there's natural winemaking going on, which means a number of things, including very little in the way of manipulation in the winery. No yeast are added to sort of send the fermentation down a particular direction. So it allows more of the natural character of that place to express itself in the wine. So what does that mean from a smell and taste? You'll have to get a bottle to find out, which you can do in our shop at our website. Wow, so it smells, it's funny to say this, but it smells like a fresh field. Almost like fresh cut grass a little bit, but more like the whole feel of the fresh field. Also some nice fruit flavors underneath. There's tangerine I'm getting a little bit of. There's also a flavor that seems a little bit like a, kind of reminds me of like key lime or Meyer lemon, those kinds of flavors. There's a creamy quality to the wine on the nose, so getting the feeling there might be a little texture for a Riesling like this. And this wine is named Sweet Pea. It's named after Pascal. Pascal is Jimmy Brooks' son, and Jimmy died in a tragic accident in 2004, and close to harvest. He was actually working at Mesra, another biodynamic vineyard. He was the initial winemaker there, and a real supporter and communicator around biodynamic farming too at the time. Really helped bring that up in Oregon. After he passed away, the wine industry, friends and community just pulled together and basically helped out making the Brooks label that year in 2004. And his sister, Janie, and friend who was a winemaker, Chris Williams, I think were just so blown away by what happened that they ended up with a real strong desire to continue the project and continue Brooks. And today it's thriving and doing great. And Pascal, Jimmy's son, is I think looking forward to really being a big part of this in the future. He's a teenager now, and this wine is Sweet Pea, named after Pascal. So. Wow. So the aerating and the spitting thing is a video on the website called The Pleasure in the Glass, which really gets into what that's all about. But you can see it obviously makes me smile. Gorgeous flavors. Tangerine, like Meyer lemon, and tangerine and lychee and a minerality. Really juicy on the palate. Gorgeous full mid palate. And then the lingering is just this juicy, beautiful, like tart, sweet lemon or key lime. Any of those type of flavors. Tangerine, that's what really comes up. And all these fun words are, wine descriptors. I think wine people make them up half the time, like I know I do, because they just get my imagination going. And I just enjoy kind of digging in and playing, So. Yeah, wow. It's got a great balance between sweet and dry. And that brings us to wine and food pairing ideas. So the key thing here then is going to be to pair, use our wine and food combining rules. Like goes with like, opposites attract or match the weight. Like goes with like, this wine's tart. You could do a tart food with this. So opposites attract, something tart can go with something fatty. So But in particular here, I want to speak more to the idea of the sweetness of this and the crispness in combination. So a sweet wine can go with a sweet food, or a sweet wine can go with a spicy food. So there's like goes with like and opposites attract. A key with sugar is, if you have this much sugar in the food, you need at least that much sugar in the wine, or the food, the flavor of the food in your mouth will make the wine taste drier than it is on its own, which if the wine is really sweet can be a good thing. This wine here has a little bit of sweetness to it, but it's not really sweet at all. You know, it doesn't come off as being sugary and sweet. It comes off as being crisp, fresh, delightful, and yummy. So Asian food, be a fabulous pairing. So put this together with something spicy or something sweet from an Asian restaurant, and I think you'll have a really, really good pairing to work with. One other wine and food pairing tip here is around salt. So when you put salt in food when you're cooking, one of the things that happens is the salt really brings up whatever is already present in the dish. With wine, it can often, what's the strong element in wine? Alcohol. So this particular wine is made without adding yeast, and the way it's made in a very natural way supports a lower alcohol. The alcohol in this is 8.6%. At that level, it works great with salty foods. So salty foods like Asian foods or salted fish are going to work fantastically with Riesling. So that's a really great wine and food pairing idea. Today's topic, we're going to handle it differently than the way we did in the first Chew on This. First episode of Chew on This, what we did is we talked about biodynamic farming. We gave a kind of a little introduction to biodynamic farming. Today's topic, we're not going to give you an introduction. I'll explain. What we're going to do instead is we're going to let you know what the topic is, and once you've seen this video, the Chew on This video through the Sunday Sip or through the website, what's going to happen is the next 2 weeks, all the way till the next Chew on This episode, we will be featuring articles and conversation on the topic on our Facebook page. So you can just tune into our Facebook page and see all kinds of stuff on the topic. The topic is the first principle of conscious wine, organically grown grapes. So conscious wine has 4 principles: organically grown grapes, sustainably farmed, creating vital living products that taste great. So if you go to our Facebook page after you've seen this video, we'll have some postings there to discuss and explore organically grown grapes. So the last part of our show today is our Q&A. But we don't have any questions, so we don't have any answers. Well, we have questions, but we want questions from you. So email us some questions at info@consciouswine.com, and we'll be glad to answer them for you on this show. But we do have something special for you today, and that's an announcement. And the announcement is that you can win a trip through our sweepstakes to the Willamette Valley in Oregon. The trip will be May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 3 nights, with Jeff Weissler, me, the Conscious Wine Guy, as your guide and host. And it'll be all about wine and food. It'll be about biodynamic farming. You'll really dig into what conscious wine is all about and really discover what sustainable practices are happening that really make these wines special. And we'll really introduce you or give you more exposure to the idea of local cuisine in a way that where it becomes more, imagining it as more a part of our lives. And we'll do some things to support that on this trip. So looking forward to possibly your winning one of those drawings. There will be 2 drawings for a pair of tickets each, and the details on those drawings will come out in the next episode of Chew on This. So listen into episode 3 for the details on the drawing. You also, if you're on our email list, you also might receive an email that'll give you some of the scoop in advance of the next Chew on This episode. So cheers, have a great time. Thanks for joining us for Chew on This, and we'll see you for more. Take care.